Hey everybody, Tekking101 here, and welcome to my very first Attack on Titan chapter review. I hope you guys are pumped, because I'm pumped. Are you pumped, Colossal Titan? Damn straight I'm pumped. Drip drip-a-doo, I step on your face. Yeah, are you pumped, giant, bulbous-headed, scary, spiral-eyes Mikasa, who I'm just realizing now is really, really creepy? Okay, I will just do my best to appease you, girl. Just chill. Just chill. Alright, so, this will be chapter 102 review. It's too late now. There's no turning back. Well, maybe, no, after you've waged war against an entire nation and, disrupted a major ceremony, killed a lot of world leaders and celebrities and children, as well as just, bombing the shit out of your city, pretty much there's no turning back now. It's pretty much too late at that point. So the Marleyans are pissed, and they are beginning to mobilize their entire military ready to take on the devils from Paradis. They're like, remember, this is a fully realized country with an entire army, kind of in the level of like World War I kind of era technology. So they got ships, they got tanks, they got stuff ready to go, and they're like, oh yeah, make all preparations. We're gonna stop them here and now. Meanwhile, the Eldians, they are dominating this battle, okay, because the Marleyans have no freaking idea how to fight against these dudes. They're zipping around on their ODM gear, going around the town, chucking bombs in buildings, blowing the shit out of everything. There's a scene, we get to see a lot of the Squad Levi in this chapter after the time skip. We get to see Jean, we get to see Connie, we get to see Sasha. They all had their hair styled in a very particular fancy way for this raid. I'm very glad when they were ready to go to invade the island of, to invade the nation of Marley, they're like, alright, let's get our hair styled in a very particular way when we go. Yeah, there's scenes where the Marleyans, they're in a building, like, gotta mobilize the entire military, they're bombing the crap out of us, and then a bomb just falls through the window, and they're like, ah, shit. They get killed that way. There's a scene where Jean, that one of them is about to shoot down one of the soldiers of Squad Levi, and Jean just appears behind him, shoots his freaking grappling hook from the ODM gear right in the dude's back, and just chucks him off the side of a building. So they're dominating this fight easy. So in terms of like, the regular soldiers versus Squad Levi, there's like, they really have no way of fighting back. Now the fight between Eren and the Warhammer Titan, little bit different there. So in the last chapter, the Warhammer Titan just got slammed by Mikasa, like thunder speared right in the freaking nape, and that thing went down. Eren's head got blown off. Okay, that kind of figured, you take an entire hit from the Warhammer Titan's Warhammer, you're not going to survive that. So Eren and Mikasa are basically just talking to each other, because I think they believe the Warhammer Titan is defeated for this moment. And we get to actually go, we saw Mikasa last chapter, but in this chapter we get like a close-up of her face, and she is looking kind of rough, guys. She's looking like she hasn't gotten any sleep in like the last week. No offense, you still look great, girl. But yeah, you can tell that she's had a lot weighing on her mind here, and after witnessing everything that just went down, she mentions to Eren, she's like, you understand what you just did now, okay? You destroyed so many, like, buildings, so many people were killed in this, like, not just soldiers, Eren, you killed civilians, you killed elderly people and children, you killed children, Eren, and Eren's just sitting there, he's just like, this is the way it has to be, there's no way that we can, like, end this without like the deaths of innocence, all right? It's gonna go down this way. We made a declaration to come here and wipe these guys out so they don't kill us anymore, so this is the way it has to be, pretty much. Now, I originally assumed that they were just gonna show up here to the nation of Marley, and they were gonna, like, launch basically just a preemptive attack, just to kind of put the fear of God into them, just to let them know, I guess the fear of the devil into them, like, hey, yeah, how you guys doing, Marley? We're the Eldians, we're those dudes on that island that you guys constantly send your freaking, you turn people into Titans and then let them loose on our island. Yeah, we just thought we'd show up and crash your little fancy pants party, level a few of your buildings, blow out your entire city, kill a bunch of your citizens and your soldiers alike, devour your Warhammer Titan, and then skip out. If you want to follow us, be my guest! I thought that's what they were planning on doing. Let's just cause a bunch of damage really quick and hit them, and then let's bail. Let's get out of here. And then the rest of this arc would have been focused in, on Paradis Island, because we're more familiar with that terrain. We're more familiar, and that's home field advantage for them. And we're gonna see the advantage of, how they were gonna, over the time skip, how they might have modified the walls and everything so that they can actually fight against an entire invading army. Now that still might happen, but it seems clear from this chapter that there's more in store for the nation of Marley than just like a quick attack and then just bail. One of the initial goals of this entire operation was, like I said, to put the fear of God into them, to kind of get Marley afraid of like what we are, what we have, the technology, how we fight, how we use our titans, how we use our like ODM gear and our bombs and all that shit. So that was one objective, just to kind of get the idea like, hey, we're waging war, we're gonna declare it, so we might as well just make a big show out of it. The second one is to consume the Warhammer Titan, and that's one of the objectives that Eren is trying to complete in this chapter. And the third objective is currently unknown, but we'll get to that later down the line in this chapter. So the Warhammer Titan is still alive. It gets back up, it creates a crossbow with a bolt ready and loaded inside of the damn thing, and it fires a shot right at Eren, who's standing on top of his beheaded Titan. Mikasa grabs him, they get away. They mention how using the Warhammer Titan's ability, it takes hardening to a whole new level, not just like the way that Annie was able to do it, not just the way Eren does it with like making his brass knuckles or whatever out of the hardening material. The Warhammer Titan can create actual objects, so it doesn't necessarily have to be a Warhammer. That's probably the weapon of choice, but it can make swords, it can make spears, it can even make, weapons with like a drawstring like crossbow. It can make that as well. So there's probably limits to what it can make out of it. It probably is like, no explosives, only knives and stabbing weapons. It probably couldn't make like a flintlock musket or something of that nature, but it could make anything like stabbing weapons and arrows and crossbows and shit. That's kind of what it's limited to. But hey, that's an incredibly advantageous thing for that Titan, because none of the other Titans have the ability to just do that. Eren can summon like the knuckles, but that's pretty much all he's got. Annie can summon up hardening, it can harden any part of her body. That's useful as armor, but in terms of like just weapons and armory, that the Warhammer Titan is like top point on that. So Eren tries to figure out, like, okay, we blew out this nape of this Titan. We definitely did that. Mikasa mentions, I definitely blew out the nape. I didn't miss. So there has to be something else going on here. Eren mentions that when the Titan was formed, it didn't form from the nape. It formed from the ground up. So that gives us, so Eren's like, all right, there's something going on here. And he starts paying attention to where the sister of Willie Tybur, I don't think we actually know her real name. I think it's just like Mrs. Tybur, where she was standing when she became the Warhammer Titan. And sure enough, there's a hole right underneath where she transformed, and there's like an umbilical cord. I don't know what to call the damn thing. It's coming out of the hole leading up to the Warhammer Titan. So this is what she did. She kind of like is doing like a remote control where she becomes encased in crystal in the Titan, in the hardening material, and then she buries herself underground, and then there's like a life support umbilical cord, whatever you want to call it, that leads to the Titan, that she can control the Titan. So you could do anything you want to the Titan. You could blow out its nape, you can completely dismember it, but it can keep coming back. Now, that's the upside to it. You have like a remote control Titan. If your opponent doesn't figure out that that's what's going on, then you're going to have the upper hand, because no matter what the opponent does to your Titan, you can just keep coming back. However, the downside of that is it kind of leaves you, the physical body, sort of vulnerable if your opponent does figure this out, and Eren did figure it out. So he turns back into a Titan, reaches into the ground, buries into where she transformed, pulls her out, snaps the freaking umbilical cord, the Warhammer Titan falls, and now you have Willie Tybur's sister, Mrs. Tybur, just hanging out in the crystal. All Eren has to do at this point is just nom on her, and then he has the Warhammer Titan power. I'm actually kind of interested how that would go, because I believe that would be the first time in the story we would have 3 different and distinct Titan powers in a single person's body. I wonder if there's a limit to that. I wonder, because he would have, Founding Titan abilities, Attack Titan abilities, and then Warhammer Titan. Is there a limit to this, or can one person technically have all 9 Titan powers? I'm not sure you would be able to have all of them at once, because, like, things like, there's, like, the Cart Titan and the Colossal Titan are, like, two, like, opposites, so you wouldn't be able to really utilize both of them at the same time, but, you know, I would assume Attack Titan's appearance, the Founding Titan's ability of, you know, manipulating Titans, and then the Warhammer Titan's ability of heightened hardening and create weapons. So I could see them all three working in those particular order, but I couldn't see, like, the Cart Titan and the Colossal Titan and, like, the Armor Titan all working at once. Like, if someone had all three of those powers, that wouldn't really work. By the way, we still have no idea what happened to Rhina. Is he dead? Like, because he was in the same building when Eren transformed and leveled it. You'd think the only way he'd be able to get out of that is if he shifted into the Armored Titan. Maybe he's buried underground, just kind of protecting himself in his Titan form, too freaking traumatized. Like, I can't handle this anymore, man. I can't take this anymore. I laugh, but that's actually a very serious thing going on with Reiner right now. That might actually be happening. Gabi is in this chapter. She's just kind of running around, and this is the first time, you know, she's a child. This is the first time she's really seeing the ravages of war, being kind of traumatized herself, witnessing, like, why did my friends have to die? She's running down the freaking road. And remember, this was like a festival night for the people in the internment zone. This was like supposed to be happy. This was supposed to be fun. There's still lights and banners all over the place, and she like less than 2 hours ago she was like, oh my god, it's so amazing here. This is what a festival is like. Now she's running down the street, blood's everywhere, people are like, oh god, it hurts! All her friends are dead. She's like, oh, what's going on here? So she runs up to a soldier. Some of the soldiers are like, Gabi, you gotta get out of here. You gotta get out of here. It's not safe. He just gets shot in the head and goes down. All the soldiers are getting wrecked. Gabi looks up and sees it's Sasha, who's up there sporting once again another hairstyle. She looks really cute in this chapter. I love post-time skip Sasha. So anyway, Potato Girl takes out a rifle and aims it right at freaking Gabi, but she doesn't take the shot because she, you know, has those things called morals there. So she's like, yeah, I can't do that. So Gabi gets away. So that'll be motivation for her later on. Maybe they'll have a confrontation between Gabi and Sasha later on down the arc. You know, maybe that'll be like, oh, you're the one. I remember you. You didn't shoot me. Yeah, well, I guess we have to fight now. Whatever. So the members of Squad Levi all get together on a rooftop. You have Jean there. I mentioned Connie. We see him. Sasha. That new recruit dude that we had. I completely forgot about this dude's existence. Floche or Flock or however you want to pronounce his name. I didn't even know this guy was a thing. I had to go back and look him up. And he's like, oh yeah, he's that dude. But yeah, he appeared, you know, I think he was recruited right before the attack on Shinganshina or whatever. But anyway, yeah, he's there too. And they're all talking about the current operation. They're all talking about the light installations. So each of the members of the squad had these little lights, like these little, like solar lights or glow sticks made out of that glowy material they had, that they're attaching to the top of the roofs of each of these buildings. And it's a signal for something, but what could it be a signal for? The general consensus seems to be it might be involving Armin's Colossal Titan, where it's like an airdrop signal for Armin to show up and go all colossal and then boom, crash down on the freaking town. I have a problem with that, and that would mean they completely left Paradise Island unguarded, because Eren's Attack Titan is currently in Marley, and that would mean Armin's Colossal Titan would be heading there too. Squad Levi is there. I'm not saying that, you know, Paradise Island would be left completely unguarded. Of course, you have the entire military there and everything like that, but you lost two of your Titans, you're sending them to Marley. That's a pretty big gamble. Now, that's to say, I mean, Marley, if they were really smart, they would be like, hey, all the Titans that they have are on Marley, we should go attack Paradise. But you have to be careful with that also, because, you know, there's problems with attacking Paradise directly. So it might not be a bad idea to do that, to send both of them. It's just more risky, I guess, because they could lose both Titans. But then again, I guess it's a gamble to gain the Warhammer Titan as well. But so that's the general idea. Maybe the light installations have something to do with an airdrop on Armin. Another problem with that is I've been thinking back to this. Do the Eldians on Paradise, do they have any sort of airship technology? I mean, it's been like 4 years. They could have already developed something. I mean, they have the memories. They might have the general concept, so I don't know. But obviously I know, like, planes and blimps haven't existed before in Paradise. You know, it's more of like a Middle Ages kind of society. But they might have developed maybe some rudimentary thing over the past 4 years. We know that the Marleyans have sent various battleships over to Marley, and they've all been captured or destroyed by Eren and Armin over the 4-year time skip. So it's entirely possible maybe they had blueprints for something, or they captured some flying machine that they could use. All they really need is one plane and know how to fly, and they fly over the city and drop Armin, and Armin goes into his Titan form, and then boom, there you have it. So let's go back to Aaron. So the Jaw Titan that is controlled by Galliard, he attacks Aaron right when Aaron's about to consume the Warhammer Titan. That's when Levi shows up and cuts the Jaw Titan's jaw, so he can't clamp down on Aaron. He can't bite into him. He tries to attack. At first, I thought Aaron was like hardening up his body because Galliard was like, I can't chew into his body, but I think it's because Levi cut his freaking jaw open. He couldn't do it, and then Galliard just gets pinned down by Levi and the entire squad, and he's being attacked. And this is the first time Galliard's ever had to deal with this. You know, like a lot of the Eldians that live in Marley that are the Titan shifters, they've never had to deal with, you know, the devils, you know, attacking the ODM gear and shit. So he's getting pinned down, and he's like, what? I'm a Titan. They can't kill me. They're just humans, you know? So he's still kind of wrapping his brain around that. Luckily, he gets saved, because otherwise Levi would have probably carved him up like a freaking Thanksgiving turkey. He gets saved by both the Cart Titan, Peck is there, as well as Zeke with the Beast Titan. He arrives on scene. You have, of course, Peck with the Cart Titan that has the Panzer unit on top of it, and they figure, hey, we have, like, heavy artillery machine gun fire against these, you know, people swinging around on ropes, so that's probably very effectual. So it seems to be. And then, of course, you have the Beast Titan that shows up at the end of the chapter. The Warhammer Titan also gets back into action when Aaron he gets distracted by Galliard, and then when he gets freed, Aaron just kind of looks down. And the thing is, Mrs. Tiber, she's still aware of her surroundings, even though she's encased in the crystal, and then she shifts back into a Titan again. So this time, though, I think the Warhammer Titan actually has her inside of it like a traditional Titan does, and it just appears right in front of Aaron, and Aaron just gets spiked, because it's like he's holding it when it happens, and it's just like, oh wait, shit, and he just gets shredded, and gets, you know, knocked up into the sky, covered in spikes. And then that's when Zeke shows up and talks to everybody, like his entire, like, all right, we got Beast Titan, we got Curtain Titan, we got Jaw Titan versus them. Let's do this. Survive. And that's the end of the chapter. So, a lot of stuff going on here. This battle in Marley is definitely going to extend a little bit longer than I originally figured it would. I still think there's going to be a moment where I think the Eldians are going to come out of this with a narrow victory. I think they're going to basically, they've kind of already succeeded because, you know, they attacked the Marleyans off guard and they did so much damage to their city. I don't think it's going to end with Aaron obtaining the Warhammer Titan, so it's like their main objective, or one of their main objectives, is going to fail. But I think they're all going to manage to retreat back to Paradis. They're all going to get back there. It's not like there's going to be any major casualties, you know, on the way. But it's going to be like a moment where it's like, okay, they pissed us off now. They attacked us first, they got us good, but now we have to mobilize and attack their island. And then, of course, the people on Paradis probably have this all ready to go. They already have their own plans, which I have no idea. But it was really cool seeing the Squad Levi in this chapter. It was cool seeing Sasha. She's probably my favorite, you know, like the new, like, post-time skip appearance there. You know, everyone else just kind of has really, really elegant hair, except for Mikasa. Like I said, Mikasa doesn't look too good. She looks kind of worn down. Like those last 4 years might as well be 12 for her. But hey, she has a lot on her mind, you know. Aaron's putting himself in freaking danger. He's gotten speared through, killed a bunch of children. He's very callous towards that. It seems very not really empathetic there. Also the fact that he, you know, they all know Aaron's gonna die eventually because of the whole Titan power, and then that caused a lot of stress for Mikasa. Oh, it's all right, girl. It's okay. We'll figure something out. Aaron will be all right. But everyone else was really neat to see. I like seeing Levi, of course, there. And one of probably my favorite scene from the chapter is when Galliard sees Levi, and there's like, oh, and then there's this asshole! Oh, wait, is that the Ackerman? Oh no, that's the one that Zeke and just, oh, shit. So, yeah, we didn't really get to see that much action with Levi, but next chapter is gonna be fun. I'm sure Zeke's gonna have a little bit of trauma with him, and there's gonna be a rematch, and maybe Zeke might get the upper hand at first, but, no. Have Mikasa and Levi ever teamed up to just to completely shred a Titan before, like just putting it through a paper shredder? That needs to be a thing. We need to see that, yeah. But anyway, yeah, what do you guys think of this chapter? I think the battle next chapter, maybe the chapter after that, I don't know how long this fight's gonna last. I think it's gonna be brief, but I think it's gonna be very intense, very bloody. I think they're all gonna somehow manage to escape. Probably gonna involve maybe the light installations, maybe that, you know, the Colossal Titan will just boom, and then that, like, blows everything away when he lands, and that allows them to escape, you know, and then in the ensuing chaos, you know, like, okay, great, Armin, grab him, get him out of there, and then the real war will be on proper, and it will take place on Paradis. Or maybe not. Maybe the war will just take place in Marley. What do you guys think? Comment below. Thanks for watching. Let me know how I did with my first way. I know de way. I know de way. It's the Attack on Titan way. What do you think, Mikasa? Did I do good?